It's time to laugh along with This Little Parent Stayed Home with Ali Lopreet. This no-brainer tutorial will show you how to give up your corporate salary and get started supplementing your family revenue, offering the skills that you've already had. This Little Parent Stayed Home covers important issues such as how to work as a family unit to make your dreams become a reality, all the while staying home with the most precious gift that life has to offer, our children. So let's get empowered. It's time for This Little Parent Stayed Home. And now, here's your host, Ali Lopreet.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to This Little Parent Stayed Home, where we are on a mission to help 1 million parents bring their careers home. I am Ali Lopreet, your host for the hour. I'm also a speaker, business consultant, and an advocate for parents. And I have with me my lovely and very pregnant and very beautiful assistant and booking producer, Danielle Bach.
Hello.
Hello. It's been quite a whirlwind lately for both of us in our private lives, huh, Danny?
Yes.
I see that you are finally moved into your new home. Your home looks gorgeous. I love all the pictures. I love that kitchen. Nice countertops.
Yeah. That's a selling feature.
Oh, really? Really? Although you forgot to take a picture and send me the outside. I didn't see what it looked like on the outside of the house. I need that.
Yeah. It's up on, I think the only picture I have of the outside is up on Facebook.
Oh, gotcha. Well, I'll have to check that out. And I know that you are anxiously awaiting the arrival of your baby bundle of joy, which I can't wait. I can't wait for all of that, although I can kind of wait because it means that I'll have to lose you to her for a little while, and I'm not looking forward to losing you. I want you all to myself.
I know. We did a lot of grocery shopping this weekend. My mom, I went to visit my mom, and that was a lot of fun.
Well, that is always fun. Oh, fantastic. Well, we just got back from vacation. It was a much-needed one. It was only 5 days, and next year we promised to do a lot longer. It was wonderful. My parents live at the beach, and so we were able to just stay with them. And, you know, it was amazing because it was the first time that my husband and I we were talking about this. It was the first time we can remember since we had kids being able to relax and do our own thing on the beach. It took 7 years. In years past, it was always like, no, it's your turn to chase the kids around. No, it's your turn. No, I just sat down. So it was because Brayden, who is quite an amazing, amazing child, he's like an adult trapped in a little boy's body. He's always been high maintenance. He's always on the go. He's always getting lost. He never cares that he's lost. He just disappears into a sea of people. And, we always are that he, somehow found his way into the ocean. He didn't care if he couldn't swim or hadn't had lessons yet. He was just diving right into the water.
Wow.
7. He's a great swimmer. We can watch him. He stays in the ocean boogie boarding for hours, and Henry just sits and builds sandcastles with me, so it's been great. It was a really relaxing vacation for the first time in 7 years. And it was really nice to look back, and it's really nice to breathe that sigh of relief and look at my husband and say, we made it. So anyway, I wanted to tell the story. Yesterday, we parked ourselves, just for the day on the beach next to this group of teenagers building this fortress in the sand. And it reminded me so much of when I would go on summer vacations when I was young with my family, and the neighborhood kids would also join us. And we'd bury each other, we'd boogie board, we'd build things. And so anyway, I'm looking at this group of kids, and they're very proud of this big fort that they've built. And they're taking pictures of it proudly, and they're probably posting it on Facebook. And my husband was and he says smugly, they have no idea what they're just about to witness. And that's because when I sit down and I start building things in the sand, I build some pretty massive masterpieces, really. He's talking about my sandcastle carving. So those of you who are listening to the show for years know that is my creative outlet, especially in the summer. I love to sand carve. It's so richly satisfying to me. I've gotten better at it over the years. I have all the expensive tools, and I love spending hours just carving sand, creating big, elaborate villages, and unwinding and getting my creative juices flowing. And there are some pictures posted on my Facebook if you'll want to see my most recent creations. And it's so funny because people will stop and they'll watch me, or, gosh, we had like 20 different people taking pictures yesterday, like as I was and they had to take a picture of the castle that I was building. And they'll stop and they'll strike a conversation with me about what I'm creating. And it always makes me laugh because they'll say things like, wow, are you a professional sandcastle builder?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, such thing as a professional sandcastle builder, but hey, you know what? If there's a job that would pay me to do this, give me an application. I'm signing up. But it was like, really, what's professional sandcastle builder? Anyway, so it started as I'm carving and then you know, building in the sand. That the first time I actually started building in the sand, I was about 11 years old. I was even younger than the teenagers who were next to me building their big fortress. And yes, they were super impressed with what I was building a lot next to theirs, by the way. And I realized that I was about as good as they were when I was their age. And it started me thinking on how we all have to start somewhere, and how very often it does begin with just interest in something, and then a passion, and then it grows to something more of an expert skill, and then eventually, like if there was a way to make money as a sandcastle builder, we find a way to allow our passions to help us in creating a career for ourselves. And it takes time for us to learn what our purpose in life is. It takes time for us to figure out what we really do to activate those dreams and take an active initiative in earning an income based on what we're good at, what feels good to us. It takes knowing more than just good, but we're good and we need to get better. And very often it takes most of us, you'll appreciate it takes most of us becoming parents to really know the importance of caring and nurturing our personal careers, because now we have an even bigger reason to succeed.
Yes.
You know, a friend of mine just did an article on the Huffington Post parents section and meeting parents and said, why work businesses are now booming. And this article, I have to say, dead on in my opinion, because it didn't suggest just stay at home moms like bored and unfulfilled housewives looking to make a difference in the world. Yes, they are moms who are making a difference, and they are mom mentors, but it's not to start because we're bored and trying to fill a personal need. It's because we're searching a way to provide our families in a way that is practical and financially beneficial for our families. In this age, two income are vital majority of most families to survive. And child care is at all-time highs. In many cases, cost of child care does not even justify the cost of parents outside the home. So where there is a void, we find a way to fill it as women research solutions. We say, I'll have to be the primary caretaker, and want to bring in some supplemental income at the same time so that we can survive as a family. Okay. And, you know, and out we got some show, there are hundreds, if not thousands of ways to make it work. All right. So what do you think about that, Danny?
Well, I definitely think there's many ways to make things work. And I love the fact that, you know, your creativity comes out when you become a parent. I'm really seeing that myself. I know this weekend we went and did all this nursery shopping, and I'm just so excited about putting the nursery together and painting and all that kind of stuff. And you just really kind of see yourself in a new type of business as you kind of prepare for this baby to come, like things that you never thought you could do. You start like, wow, you know, I could be making money doing this, or, you know, I could be decorating somebody's baby rooms or something.
Yeah. Well, you know, and as we've discussed on the show, there are hundreds, if not thousands of ways to make it work on your own. And that's really the beneficial and most exciting part of what we have discovered here on This Little Parent Stay at Home. Whether you buy a franchise or you buy a business in a box, you know, a direct sales company or multi-level marketing, or you invent a product, or you capitalize on the skills that you've always had, like you with all your creative resources. You can become a VA. You've become a VA with your unique skill set, or maybe you can convince a current employer to allow you to work virtually. Whatever the vision you have, it can be done. But the thing that I want to draw your attention to is that this show doesn't pretend that your career is only for you or your personal fulfillment. I know and get that most business coaches out there don't always address that. I understand why you're looking to earn a self-employed income, and I believe it's a terrific choice for you as a mom or dad, and then it makes more sense for you to come and work at home than pay for an expensive childcare that's more than your salary. I understand all of that. I want you to be happy, and I want you to be personally fulfilled, but I'll be the first one that's honest with you. Work is work. we choose careers we tolerate the least because, or I should say tolerate the most, because we earn our keep in this lifetime. We all have to work. Unless we're trust fund babies and have an unlimited amount of expendable wealth, we have to work. And so what we have to do is choose the thing that we can tolerate. Mm-hmm. The most, because we have to put a roof over our families' heads, and we have to find a way to be happy and fulfilled. And that is when we truly are living abundant lives. And I do believe that it is possible for all of you listening out there to live that abundant life that you dream of, working in the career of your choice, because we have to work, without the fear of job loss, without any glass ceilings, and with personal fulfillment. All of that is possible. And studies show that those of you who work for yourselves in an area which you're personally fulfilled in, you will have more success and you will have more staying power, because it will build up your endurance. I have another story. We're going to have to take a break, and then I want to introduce you to our guests. We have a wonderful guest today, but I'm going to tell you about the 20 introduced to me by a mutual friend. We had arranged a quick phone call to see if there was a way that we could collaborate. And of course, our 15-minute phone call turned into an hour and a half because I just couldn't get off the line with her. I loved talking with her. She's wonderfully insightful. She's a fantastic business coach. She's very nurturing, and she's very firm in her convictions as an executive business leader and leadership coach. And I love her approach. She actually is going to be coming on the show today to be talking to us about how to be more generous in business and how this is actually going to work to your benefit to get your clients to say yes to you more effortlessly. All right. It's that effortless yes that we've talked about in radio shows in the past. So we're going to be talking about the generosity code when we come back after these messages. Don't go away. We'll talk with Cynthia Stott. Stay tuned.
Staying home, working from home, making your dreams a reality? We're working on it. It's This Little Parent Stayed Home with Allie Lopreet, and we'll be right back after these.
This is Allie Lopreet. Now, as you know, I have made it my personal mission to help 1 million parents bring their careers home. And I'm always on the lookout for the best work-at-home opportunities that's going to allow you to sign your own paychecks and be able to put your family first. That is why I am truly excited to be able to present a legitimate income-making opportunity to those of you who are truly serious about working from home. I've teamed up with my very good friend, Bridget Brady, and together we're going to be offering a free 30-minute teleseminar on the first Wednesday of every month so that we can show you how to make money online using an already proven system. You can reserve your seat by going to thislittleparent.com, and under the Business Opportunities tab on the right side, you'll find the registration link for this free 30-minute call. It's free, it's strictly informational, and it's already been giving a lot of parents just like you the resources to take control of their financial future. Go to thislittleparent.com to reserve your complimentary seat, and we'll see you there.
Do you know the power that you have as a consumer? You have the power to choose where to spend your hard-earned dollars. OurMilkMoney.com is an easily accessible online business directory that lists the products and services of self-employed parents. It's a great place for you to flex that consumer power of yours, and each time you do, you'll be helping a mom or dad afford the choice to stay home with their kids. Visit OurMilkMoney.com today to do your shopping, list your own business, or make a personal contribution to the global movement that's allowing business owners to put their families first.
Welcome back to This Little Parent Stayed Home, the no-brainer tutorial that will show you how to give up your corporate salary and get started supplementing your family revenue by offering the skills that you've already had, all the while staying home with the most precious gift that life has to offer, our children. It's This Little Parent Stayed Home. Now, back to the show with Allie Lopreet.
Welcome back to the second segment. I almost said second half. We're not that far away. The second segment of This Little Parent Stayed Home. I am a business consultant for parents, and I'm a true advocate for you guys out there. Today, we're going to be talking about how to start the ripples of generosity in the way that you do business. We have a fantastic, I said that weird. I'm tired from vacation, I think. We have a fantastic guest. Cynthia Stott is going to be joining us today. I really love what she has set up for business owners. She's helping business owners, women especially, just flourish all over the globe with her new generosity code. And I love her background. I know that she was a business corporate leader, and she's been successful both in corporate America and in small business. And so we're going to go ahead and we're going to welcome Cynthia Stott on in just a moment. But before I do, I wanted to quickly tell you about the 20-mile march. It was a story that I recently learned about. And basically, it was these two families were on a race to get to the South Pole, and both of them had approached the journey with different tactics. The first family decided to adjust the number of miles that they journeyed each day based on the conditions of the day. Some days they would go 50 miles. Other days they'd only go 5 miles. It really just depended on the conditions of the weather, how they felt, the amount of food they had. Maybe there were injuries and they needed to pull back for a little bit. And the second family decided to go 20 miles a day, no matter what the conditions were. Without fail, no matter what, they'd go 20 miles. So, Danny, who do you think won the race to the South Pole?
20 milers.
Exactly. That's right. The second family, the ones who committed to moving 20 miles a day, day in, day out, no matter what conditions were presented to them. And the reason is because if you wait for perfect conditions to move forward, you'll never push through those tough times. In fact, conditions are almost never perfect, right? Never. So,
Never.
Of course, the family that pushed forward no matter what, 20 miles a day, and they remained consistent, of course, they won the race. There's always going to be a reason to save the hard work for a later day. It's kind of like training for a marathon. You must have that reservoir of commitment, because if you can push forward when conditions are more challenging, then you can push forward when it's less challenging. You must also be able to tap into that reservoir of energy. So a lot of people, this analogy will go, like for those people who start off a business, they start off full force, lots of energy, and they get burned out before the year is up. And this is a really big reason why so many businesses fail in the first year. There has to be a steady and even pace. That's what gives you the staying power to keep going. That which you persist in doing becomes easier. Now, just to be clear, the task itself doesn't become easier, but your capacity for the task increases. Okay? So I thought that was such an interesting story. And I really just wanted to address it today because I see so many small businesses get burnt out. And I know a lot of you ventured into small business, not for yourself, as we talked about in the beginning of the show. We're not doing it. Moms and dads are not going into our own careers and self-employment for personal fulfillment. We look and search for personal fulfillment so that we can have that staying power. But it's not why we began. That staying power for so many of us and that reason to keep going in that 20-mile march is our children. And it's the reason that you have just a little bit more reason to be successful, and why I think so many of us have been. What do you think about that, Danny?
I think that is so true. If you are pushing forward through those times of adversity, you can definitely do it when things are going great. Who wouldn't want to be, doing a great, even better when things are going great. But when times are tough, everybody wants to kind of hide under a little rock. It's not going to work.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And there are so many times where we do have to push forward. In fact, like I always say, when the challenges are abundant, I like to shake my fist up at the universe and say, really? Is that all you got? Bring it on. Because I've got another 20 miles to go today, and I'm not giving up. So I just thought it was a great story to share with you. And I'm really excited to bring on our generosity coach. I don't even know if if she's being called that, but she did invent the generosity code in business, and it's really been helping her and her clients flourish in their business. I know you're absolutely going to love Cynthia Stott. She's our guest for today. She is filled with abundant, wealthy information for all of you. So listen up, grab pen, and take notes, because I'm going to introduce you to her now. Welcome, Cynthia. Thank you so much for joining us on This Little Parent Stayed Home. It's an honor to have you here today.
Thank you, Allie. It's my honor as well, and pleasure. Great to be with you today. So excited to be with you and your listeners, and I loved your story you just shared. Awesome.
I would love to hear your take on it. Does that resonate at all with you, that 20-mile march?
Oh, absolutely. Persistence is key. It's absolutely key. I always think I was a child of the 70s, so I grew up in the playgrounds with the little metal merry-go-rounds, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And you get all your friends on there, and you do the first push, and gosh, it was hard. Maybe they'd get a quarter way around, and you just keep pushing. And eventually, you barely had to tap it to keep that merry-go-round going.
Interesting.
And that's how I see
that is like a strange law of the universe, but it really is. That really would prove my point that it's not that the task gets easier. It's that our strength and endurance, we have a better capacity for actually doing those tasks. We build up our muscles. We get stronger. We get better.
Absolutely. And we also build momentum.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I have something to say about momentum.
Great.
Because, I was just on vacation, and I had built up all this momentum. My business is booming and booming, and everything's going well. And then I have to take a break. And I wanted to take a break, and I needed to take a break. But it was so hard for me to step away and not work. And then as soon as I got into the swing of things, I got into the feel of vacation mode, then it was like, oh, gosh, it's time to go back to work. And I had to build up that momentum again. Do you have any tips for how someone can get through? Because moms and dads, we have to scale our businesses back. We have to scale them forward based on, the flexibility around our children's schedules. How do we deal with slowing down a momentum that we don't necessarily want to slow down?
I say don't.
Okay.
And we can do that while doing other things. Like, for example, this morning I launched a website, and I'm on this interview with you, and I had another call. And guess what I did this morning?
What?
I went to the beach and played with puppies. And that gave me the space and the energy and the relaxation to face the rest of the day that could then move more smoothly and openly. So I think vacations are phenomenal. I think small vacations, long vacations, in the moment.
Yeah.
Right?
It's so true.
And just
they really are. And you're right. In some ways, it's like taking little mini vacations during the day rather than one giant vacation that causes the momentum to die out in your business. And you know what? That feels more organic in some ways.
And a long vacation doesn't have to necessarily kill the momentum. In fact, it can, I believe, take you to another level.
Well, I love this conversation, especially because it's summertime, and I know so many parents have had to scale back their businesses, or at least they feel that they've had to. And also they're taking lots of family vacations. I've been saying to my friends, I'm the cruise director. It's Camp Alley, because my kids are out of school, and I'm what they've got. So I love that. I love that advice. And you're right. We can learn so much by watching our children live in the moment.
Absolutely.
That is so true.
And they're so wise. Children are just extremely wise, and they say their authentic truth. And if we can open ourselves more to that and to their wisdom and sharing their wisdom with them as a parent, we can find new ways of being and doing. And actually, some of the best business advice can come from a 6-year-old.
How true that is. I am definitely learning a lot from my 7-year-old and even my 4-year-old lately. So what I'd love to know about how you discovered the generosity code. I've been reading about it, and I know that some people might actually debate you on this, because some people feel like they're too generous in their business. They give too much away for free. But what you say is being more generous is going to bring more abundance to you. Is that right?
Yes and no.
Okay, great. Well, let's hear it. I'd love to hear what the generosity code is doing for small businesses everywhere and why you created it.
Great. So there's a huge difference between being authentically generous and overgiving.
Mm-hmm.
And when you talk about giving too much away for free, and that's even the energy of that, that's on the overgiving side, and that's actually not good for anyone. It's not good for you, for sure, and it's not good for your clients either.
Interesting.
So it's a new way of being authentically generous with yourself and your clients and the world, and creating win-win for everyone.
I love it. We're talking here with Cynthia Stott. We're going to go more into what the generosity code is, how it's going to benefit you and your business. We're going to talk about the misconceptions of what people might think the generosity code is by being too generous. Are you a bleeding heart? Are you giving too much away for free? Are you not being generous enough with yourself? And I think, Cynthia, you'll agree with me that that really is key. If you hold yourself as a business owner as valuable, and you know you're valuable, and you are very firm in those convictions, then when you are generous with your clients, it will bring you more abundance. We'll talk more about that on the other side of this break. If you have a comment or a question and you would like to join the conversation, I always leave the toll-free lines open. That line is 877-864-4869. I myself, I do business coaching on the air. I'm sure that Cynthia would be willing to answer some questions as well. We'd love to keep you involved. And one more thing, if you are looking to get to know Cynthia Stott while you are listening to this, you can visit her website. That's www.cynthiastott.com. We will talk more about the generosity code that Cynthia Stott has created and how it is benefiting business owners all over the globe. When we come back, we will talk more with Cynthia on the other side. Don't go away.
Staying home? Working from home? Making your dreams a reality? We're working on it. It's This Little Parent Stayed Home with Allie Lopreet. And we'll be right back after these.
If you're a self-employed parent, you know what it takes to run a business and a household at the same time. At OurMilkMoney.com, we get it too. And we connect you with other moms and dads who appreciate the value of your business and flex their consumer power to support you in your choice to work from home. Best of all, it's free. Visit OurMilkMoney.com today to get your home business some buzz and contribute to the movement that is truly changing lives, one family at a time.
Welcome back to This Little Parent Stayed Home, the no-brainer tutorial that will show you how to give up your corporate salary and get started supplementing your family revenue by offering the skills that you've already had, all the while staying home with the most precious gift that life has to offer, our children. It's This Little Parent Stayed Home. Now, back to the show with Allie Lopreet.
Of This Little Parent Stayed Home. Today we're talking about how to start the ripples of generosity in the way that you do business. We're talking with expert guest here, Cynthia Stott of CynthiaStott.com. She's also the creator of the Generosity Code. Before the break, we were talking about the difference between being a bleeding heart and somebody that gives away too much and is overly generous, and therefore your business might be suffering, and finding the value and the pride in what you do and being very firm in your stance on the value that you do provide for your clients, and in that, finding the generosity. So I would love to learn some more from Cynthia on how we can be more generous in our business and how that's actually going to boost up our income and our wealth.
Cynthia.
Great. Thanks, Allie.
So
yeah.
it's all about being authentically generous, but also being generous with ourselves. Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Well, it really has to start with ourselves. When we're generous with ourselves and we're in a space where we feel I am worthy, I'm valued by others, I know my value and worth, and even my mistakes and failures and missteps are leading me to my greater success. When we feel that way, we can't end up anywhere but successful. And then that success and that feeling that we are happy and satisfied and well cared for. It's like we can give from a space of an overflowing cup rather than an empty space. And we can give more to our loved ones, our children, our spouses, our clients, and the world, our community.
Can you give me an example of how somebody would actually find a way to be more generous in their business and with themselves?
Yeah, great. So great question. I love that. So being more generous. So I had my brother-in-law actually loves cooking. And so on his birthday, his wife and I took him to a cooking class. And this woman was amazing, and she's an American, but she lives in France, and it was a French cooking class, and she takes people on cooking tours and walking tours of France. And she also wrote a book. And we paid for the class, and when we were there, she didn't have her book available.
Uh-huh.
She didn't make an offer from the stage with her book. And she didn't make an offer from the stage about the walking tours that she does. She didn't have a pamphlet available or anything. And my brother-in-law would have loved to have a signed copy of the book from her for a memento. And maybe even, if not go to, dream about going to France with her on a walking tour and cooking tour. And he would have felt more generous had she offered that. Now, offering is different than pushing. But that's a way that if she had made that generous sales offer, offering her book and offering her service, it would have not only been generous to her, because her revenue could have probably tripled at least, I'm thinking, from what she was earning during that cooking class. And it would have been more generous to her clients because they could have taken that next step with her. And so by her not having the courage, I think, and the different perspective on it to make that offering, everyone lost.
I see what you're saying. That is a wonderful perspective. That when you deny others your products and your offerings, you're not just denying them, you're denying yourself the opportunity to grow.
Absolutely. And to give your unique gift, your passion work.
I love it. And that is a great explanation. I love the way that you answered that. Now, I know that you really do believe that anyone can get paid well for doing what they're most passionate about. You know, at the beginning of the show, I know the sound quality was a little bit, was a little bit off. But in the beginning of the show, I was talking about how people would come by and see me building sandcastles and they would say, wow, are you a professional sandcastle builder? So maybe we can just use that as an example. I certainly don't want to become a professional sandcastle builder. I'm a professional business consultant and I love what I do. But if somebody was really, truly passionate about something like that, what if it's not something that you really think that other people will buy? You still believe that there is a way to create wealth and get paid well for doing what you love. How is that?
Absolutely, and I've seen it time and time again. In fact, best example I have is people can make money by delegating. I know one woman that makes a really good living by delegating the writing of her books to others, and they pay her for the privilege.
Okay, great example. That's great, yeah.
And it works for both of them because she actually assists them with the editing and the publishing and getting the buzz built and that sort of thing. So there's always a way to do it. And I think with your sandcastle example, I can think of like 3 or 4 different ways you could make money at that, if that was what you were most passionate about.
That's so funny because I really just threw that at you to make you squirm a little bit. But I would love to hear your ideas on how someone can actually make money building sandcastles.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think anything that you're most passionate about. In my model, I start, when I do one-on-one work with clients, I start with digging up and finding their most passionate thing, because most of us, our most passionate thing, that thing that makes our heart sing, it's so precious and sacred to us that we have a hard time even admitting that this is a thing I'd love to do every day.
Yeah, that is very true.
And so I help to push aside all those, this would be good, and I don't hate that, and I like that, and I could do that, and maybe I could do that for 20 years. I push all of those away and dig down deep into what is that thing that makes your heart sing.
Yeah. We called it the sparkle effect on a few shows ago. It's what's that thing that when you talk about it, your eyes light up and you sparkle. That's how you know that's what you should be doing in your career.
Absolutely. And when you're showing up like that, you're showing up great for yourself, for your loved ones, for your children. Your children feel that spark.
Yes, they do. They do. And so I know that you say that developing the strategy to getting paid, you think that's the easy part. You're one of those people that just think that money flows abundantly and freely. And while I believe you, I would love to know why you think getting paid is just the easy part.
Wow. Well, part of it is that I literally worked on top of billions, that's with a B, of dollars every day for over 18 years.
Wow. Uh-huh. Well, yeah, that would really enhance your perspective. So many of us don't know how to manifest millions of dollars when we don't know what that looks like. You clearly know what billions look like. Right.
So that gave me a unique perspective, and actually I got paid to tell CEOs and board of directors what to do and how to make their strategy work. I was a bank examiner for consumer protection laws and Community Reinvestment Act, and I would always lop off the last 3 zeros, if not the last 6, and $1 million could just be a rounding error.
Interesting.
But when I look at money for people in business, so it's really about that merry-go-round. And the first time you start to spin it, it's hard. But you just keep spinning it the same way, and it's so easy. It's just a light touch will keep it going and going until your friends are completely dizzy and ready to get off.
Right. I love how you tied that back in. That's so great. Okay, awesome. So knowing that you can see, you have a different perspective of wealth coming from your background. So how do you work with your clients to help them develop a business around what they're most passionate about? And how do you help them to earn money based on their crazy passions?
Well, just like the merry-go-round, if you spin it consistently and in the same direction, it gets easier and easier and easier, and it just takes a light touch. But most of us, we start with the first push, and it only goes maybe a quarter or a half, and we go, oh, no, that's not right. I'm going to go over the swing set now.
Okay.
Or we might even say that's the wrong direction and push it back the other way. And so we do what I call the well effect. So if you wanted to dig a well to get into water, and you want to dig 30 feet. If you dug 30 feet directly down, you'd probably hit water if you were in a relatively good area for water. But if you dug 10 wells 3 feet deep, you'd never hit water. No matter, even if there's a spring right there, it's not 3 feet underneath.
Okay, so it's really, we don't always know what's beneath the surface. And it's sustaining that belief system. It's faith.
Faith and trust, absolutely, in yourself and in that this is my passion and my vision, and I'm going to make it happen. And even if, when a baby learns to walk, they fall down a lot. They fall down and they laugh. They fall down and they cry. They fall down and they get up. They fall down and they don't get up. They just keep going. And that's what business is about. And you're just going in that same direction. So if you know this is what I'm most passionate about, and this is what I really could do every day, and this is something that I could be proud of doing, and that would work for me with my schedule, with all the things that I have in my life, then I'm just going to keep going. And with the new way of doing business around the internet and easy ways to record what we do, it's so simple to get that flywheel spinning and spinning and spinning.
I couldn't agree with you more. I feel like since the internet was invented, we have so many more possibilities available to us. We're talking here with Cynthia Stott. You can learn more about her at cynthiastott.com. In fact, I'd like to call your attention to an opt-in page. If you go to cynthiastott.com, she's offering a free call on this program, the Generosity Code, the Fundamentals, and all you have to do is click on Teleseminar, and you will reach you will reach an opt-in page on cynthiastott.com that will allow you to participate in this new program. Also, Cynthia is offering a 4-week teleseries for only $27. There is a special promotional code. We will learn more about that when we come back on the other side of this break. We have one more segment left. If you have a comment or a question, feel free to give us a call. The toll-free line is 877-864-4869. When we return, we will talk more with Cynthia Stott, and we will learn more about how you can get into the 4-week teleseries of the Generosity Code, the Fundamentals. So stay tuned and don't go away.
Staying home, working from home, making your dreams a reality? We're working on it. It's This Little Parent Stayed Home with Allie Lopreet, and we'll be right back after these.
This is Allie Lopreet. Now, as you know, I have made it my personal mission to help 1 million parents bring their careers home. And I'm always on the lookout for the best work-at-home opportunities that's going to allow you to sign your own paychecks and be able to put your family first. That is why I am truly excited to be able to present a legitimate income-making opportunity to those of you who are truly serious about working from home. I've teamed up with my very good friend, Bridget Brady, and together we're going to be offering a free 30-minute teleseminar on the first Wednesday of every month so that we can show you how to make money online using an already proven system. You can reserve your seat by going to thislittleparent.com, and under the Business Opportunities tab on the right side, you'll find the registration link for this free 30-minute call. It's free, it's strictly informational, and it's already been giving a lot of parents just like you the resources to take control of their financial future. Go to thislittleparent.com to reserve your complimentary seat, and we'll see you there.
Do you know the power that you have as a consumer? You have the power to choose where to spend your hard-earned dollars. OurMilkMoney.com is an easily accessible online business directory that lists the products and services of self-employed parents. It's a great place for you to flex that consumer power of yours. And each time you do, you'll be helping a mom or dad afford the choice to stay home with their kids. Visit OurMilkMoney.com today to do your shopping, list your own business, or make a personal contribution to the global movement that's allowing business owners to put their families first.
Welcome back to This Little Parent Stayed Home, the no-brainer tutorial that will show you how to give up your corporate salary and get started supplementing your family revenue by offering the skills that you've already had, all the while staying home with the most precious gift that life has to offer, our children. It's This Little Parent Stayed Home. Now, back to the show with Allie Lopreet.
Welcome back to the final segment of This Little Parent Stayed Home. I'm your host, Allie Lopreet, and we are on a mission to help the parents of America bring their careers home. I'm on a mission to bring 1 million parents to find fulfilling careers. And we're doing that. We are in our 4th year here at This Little Parent Stayed Home. Before I bring back our guest, Cynthia Stott, where we're talking about the Generosity Code in business, I just want to give you a quick announcements. want to let you know that I am speaking at the Virtual Mompreneur Summit. Quite an honor. It's a free 10-day video summit with host Jill Christensen, where she's going to be bringing you interviews with 21 of the best entrepreneurs and mompreneurs just like you who are out there making it happen, balancing family and business and creating a life that they love for themselves and their families. And these experts are going to be sharing their secrets of how it's done and how you can find balance, make money, and love your life. Again, I'm going to be one of these speakers. To get access to this free event, you want to head over to www.themompreneursummit.com and go ahead and register. That's www.themompreneursummit.com. Also, wanted to remind you, where is this other thing I'm looking for? Oh, yeah. Wanted to remind you that I am also offering a free course on August 4th. You're going to learn my special Twitter formula that's going to teach you how to drive mass traffic on your online business by targeting your ideal demographic. I've partnered with my very good friend, Susan B. Zimmerman, known as Subi Doo, and she's going to be teaching her special strategy on Instagram, which, by the way, has just been upgraded to video. So 2 social media platforms in 90 minutes for absolutely no cost to you. Plus, we're going to have some nice giveaways for you just for showing up. We only have 100 seats available, and I think we're about halfway filled, so you want to grab your seat. What you want to do is go to thislittleparent.com, and you'll see the banner on the right side under upcoming events. And let me tell you who this event is for. If you do any online marketing and you need more people to know about you and what you do, you need to take this course. If you especially have products that are visual, like jewelry, clothing, toys, trinkets, anything that you can hold in your hand and take a picture of. You especially want to learn that platform of Instagram, and you will learn why it will instantly boost your business by about 40% with a very simple strategy. Plus, everybody wants to know my Twitter secret, my Twitter formula, and it's been working for me to share it with you. So sign up. Again, it is August 4th, and you can find that link on thislittleparent.com. The banner's on the right side. Okay, Cynthia Stott, we're going to take you all the way to the end of the show. First of all, I know that you so very generously offered a 4-week course to the listeners of the show for only $27. Is that right?
Absolutely.
Right.
And we made it so easy for you to get it today.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
And we made it really easy for you. We launched a new CynthiaStott.com website. And if you just go to CynthiaStott.com, last name is STOTT.com, then on the right side, there is the Generosity Code Fundamentals free audio download. You just put in your name and email, and you'll get that free call where you can listen and find out more details about the Generosity Code and what it is and how it can help you in your business. And then there is information there for how you can get onto the 4-week program where we update beliefs around I am worthy, I'm valued by others, and 6 beliefs around your greater success for only $27. And it's available to you anytime, day or night. You click on it, you order it, $27. The first module pops into your inbox, and then a week later you get number 2, and a week later number 3, and then 4. So it's really convenient and at your time.
I love it. That is so wonderful. So tell me about what kind of things people can learn from moving forward with you as a business coach. What kind of successes have your past clients been finding in working with you?
Wow, geez. So there's been so many. And let's say it right now.
I recently read that you helped somebody actually work in some foreign country because they wanted to live there, and they actually found a way to build a career based on where they wanted to live. Isn't that right?
Well, actually, no, it's a dream trip. It's a dream trip to Machu Picchu in Peru. Uh-huh. And this business owner, and who's also a mother and a grandmother, has 3 businesses. And she thought, I don't have time I can't leave my business for 3 weeks or 4 weeks, however long she wanted to go to Machu Picchu. And I can't afford it right now. And we, in about 15 minutes, sketched out a plan for her to go next year and make money by going to Machu Picchu.
That's really fantastic. So you really actually take what people's goals and dreams are, and you find a way to help them earn wealth based on that, based on their real deepest, darkest desires.
Absolutely. And I put everything in the mix. You don't leave anything out. All your desires. You focus on, your personal desires, your desires for your family, your desires for how much money you want. Everything goes into the pot. And really the money just naturally flows out of that. I mean, it's really what I see. So it's very intuitively, I follow what you're most passionate about. And it's amazing what comes out of our mouths.
It really is. Okay, so Cynthia, before we let you go, we're almost through the end of the show. I would love for you to leave us with your hottest tip, your hottest piece of advice for all of those mom entrepreneurs out there that are struggling to make it work. What have you got for us?
Ask yourself what you're most passionate about doing or what you've enjoyed doing, and keep at it. So I have one client that she did a 4-part teleseries, and she charged $47 for it. And I said, you just need to keep doing that teleseries again and again, and record it and have it done automatically for you, and build an evergreen automatic income for yourself so that you can be doing your passion and helping people in ways that you want to while you're sitting at the beach.
I love it. And I really do think that is fantastic advice. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We really do appreciate hearing all about the generosity code and how that's going to help us boost our business. Once again, I really do hope that everyone takes advantage of the fantastic free offer as well as the very inexpensive $27 offer. That is very, no pun intended, generous of you, Cynthia.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And we'll be in touch offline. So that was Cynthia Stott, everyone, and you can find her at www.cynthiastott.com. Before we let you go, I've got some exciting news about what I'm going to be pushing forward to. Danny, I can't wait. I'm heading back to New York next year. Did you know? Or not next year, next week.
Next week.
I am so tired. I can't even talk to you. So, let me tell you, I'm flying out to New York to meet with 2 very important people in my professional career. Okay, both of these women have been mentioned abundantly on my show here. Tori Johnson is one of them. We all know Tori Johnson from Spark and Hustle. She's also the place contributor for Good Morning America. And the other woman that I'm meeting with is Susan Line, who is my former boss and mentor. Several of you may remember that I interviewed her here on the show a few years back. I was a nervous wreck, by the way. I remember drinking like 2 glasses of wine before I even got on the air because I was nervous. And I've always been in complete and total awe of both of these women. So the reason I'm going is Tori is holding a private intensive for about 10 women who she deems noteworthy and relevant. And I'm totally excited and totally honored to be spending these 2 days with her, and also with several other women in my pool who I have such strong admiration for. And then I'm having breakfast with Susan Line. And Susan, I worked for her. You may remember I worked for her when she was the president of ABC Entertainment, and I remained in touch with her when she left to become the CEO of Martha Stewart Living. That's when Martha Stewart was incarcerated. So you remember how everyone thought that her business was over, and it was actually widely rescued, and it was through Susan that came to be. Now she has a new position as the CEO of AOL Brand and Content. And of course, no mystery why she was hired in this role, because she's usually hired to rescue big businesses. She's as brilliant as they come, and I'm still in complete awe of her. And so I was totally nervous. I was feeling like, oh my gosh, I was having, the imposter syndrome that I always talk about, the imposter rears its ugly head, and I was thinking, oh God, they're going to realize I'm insignificant. They're going to go, why did we even agree to meet with her? Why are we lumping her in with these successful, amazing people? And I took a deep breath and I saw things for the way that they actually were, not where my fears and stresses were sort of blinding me to the reality. And the reality is that I saw these two amazing women who I've looked up to, and I've admired them for years, and I've worked hard to get on their radar and prove to them that I am worth noticing and that I am worth rooting for. And guess what?
What?
I made it.
Yeah.
They've noticed me and they're rooting for me. I'm here. I've crossed that finish line. I no longer have to prove myself to be considered on the same level as them. I've arrived. I've done what I set out to do. That's what I was aiming for. In fact, it happened so quickly, and I didn't even realize it, but I crossed that finish line quite a while ago.
Uh-huh.
What I wanted to talk about in just the last couple minutes that we have here on the show is how many times we've created goals and we reach those goals and we just keep pushing forward, and we passed that finish line a long time ago. I jumped so far ahead I forgot to notice that I already achieved what I've been working so hard for. And so what I really invite you all to do is take a look at your lives and you can take a look at what's not working, and you can talk about how to fix it and talk about how to better yourselves. But before you do that, I want you all to take a look at how far you've come. Take a look at the goals that you've already achieved, because chances are you've already achieved them abundantly. You found your husband. You got yourself pregnant. You gave birth to healthy kids. You are now being a successful mom entrepreneur. Even though things might be struggling and you might be stressing out a lot, you've already made it. You've already crossed that finish line. So I want you to pat yourself on the back. We'll see you all next week on This Little Parent Stayed Home. We have great guests for you every week, each week. Kiss your kids, hug your spouse, make sure that you spend some time enjoying your life and all that brings you passion and joy. We'll see you all next week.